Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. And welcome to our online session today. So it's our first kickoffs, actually, our kickoff session of the June month. So our first session. So we line up several sessions, actually 4 sessions for this month with special speakers, so with a great topics, several topics around the Power Platform. I'm Arash Aghajani. I'm actually Microsoft MVP and community leader, and I'm leading the Power Platform Zero to Hero community with my friend Dija. And I will be your host today for this exciting session. I'm thrilled to introduce our special guest, Sunil Kumar. So Sunil is a Power Platform lead architect, and actually he leads the Power Trainer uh, uh, YouTube channel, and he share actually his experience with the community. And actually, we are so happy that we have Sunil with us today. So first of all, I'm going to introduce the Microsoft Learn community. And here is what is the Microsoft Learn and the Microsoft Learn community. So the Microsoft Learn community is a collection of experiences offering learners with a variety of ways to connect and engage with other learners and technical experts to increase expertise on the topic that matter most to learners and achieve career goals. So empower your learning through connection by choosing your Microsoft Learn community experience, get the latest update news, and join the conversation on the Microsoft Learn Hub on Tech community. So please actually bookmark this link, aka.ms/Microsoft Learn community on your browser, and check the Microsoft Learn community and learning room inside. So there are so many learning room provided by Microsoft, and the technology enthusiasts in the Microsoft tech community. So you can easily join and learn from the other Microsoft enthusiasts, Microsoft technology enthusiasts through the Microsoft learning room. So Power Platform Zero to Hero also is one of the Microsoft learning rooms. So we have more than 1,500 members, and if you are not a member of our tech community, so join from this link, aka.ms/powerplatform 0 to hero, so you can join to our Microsoft learning room. So another things here is about the Microsoft Learn Challenge. So it's a build edition. So it started from May 21st, and it will continue until the June 21st. Join to this challenge. So please register as soon as possible through the aka.ms/msbuild challenge. So you will learn a lot, around the Azure AI, Microsoft Fabric, GitHub Copilot, Copilot for Microsoft 365, and Copilot Studio. So each challenge offers a variety of resources designed to expand your skill set and empower your career through the AI actually topic, and you can level up your skills through the Microsoft Build channel. So before we begin, a few important notes here. If you have any question during the presentation, feel free to type them in the chat box. We will have a dedicated 5 to 10 minutes question and answer session toward at the end. And this session is being recorded for those who couldn't join us live, and will be available shortly in Power Platform Zero to Hero. So that's all from my And so we are looking forward to gaining actually valuable insight from you, Sunil. Without any delay, I will hand it over to you to start your presentation by introducing yourself first. So, okay, hello.
Hello, hi, Arash. How are you? Thank you
Good,
so
good.
much.
How are you? Nice to meet you again here in the Power Platform Zero to Hero community. So I'm so excited actually to learn from you around AI prompts, that how we can leverage the AI in the Power Platform environment, and also a lot of things that's actually provided by Microsoft around
Yeah,
the AI and the Power Platform.
definitely, definitely. Thank you so much for having me on this podium. And let me go ahead and introduce myself for the audience.
For sure.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sunil Kumar, also known as Power Trainer. So I have been in IT industry for over a decade now. Started my journey using SharePoint on-prem, then moved to online developments. And then from 2019, 2020 onwards, I have started working on Power Platform. And today I am leading a team of multiple members from multiple geographies, handling all the Power Platform products, be it Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Pages, Copilot Studio, any of the third party or Azure integrations and deployments to different tenants. So this is all about me. Today, specifically, we are going to talk about AI prompts. So AI prompts is the one of the latest features which has been rolled out by Microsoft. It is generally available now, and in December 2023, it was rolled out by Microsoft. Right now, this presentation, if you see, this is all Power Apps. There is no PowerPoint today. So we are going to actually go ahead and do the demo live on Power Apps. I hope demo gods are with me today. And let me give you a brief about AI prompts. First of all, so AI prompts is a sideline version of prompting. So prompting is similar to how, let's go back a little bit. We talk about googling, right? So we also said, like many of the people used to say, that googling itself is a skill. We must know what actually to google. So there are specific keywords to google, right? So whenever we want something to be to search for, and we have to give a proper instruction and a context. So it that also gets a bit of more AI version of it. And while we move forward in the future, a background of a lot of information is also backed now by the AI prompt. So AI prompt is basically a combination of instruction and context to get the proper expected outcome, what we expect from the AI. So AI is basically handling all the whatever the backend data it is available with the help of what we give as a prompt, as a search query. It gets back us the results out of that. So these AI prompts. Now there is a whole lot of AI prompt. A prompt engineering guide is available, right? We can go ahead and check on that as well. So as I mentioned, prompts are how you build a custom generative AI capabilities in Power Platform. So using AI prompts in Power Platform, we can actually use those prompts in Power Apps, Power Automate, even in Copilot Studio. So today's demo, we will actually see how it looks and how we can leverage AI prompts. Uh, so there are some prompts which are out of the box available from Microsoft. For example, classification of text. Right, whatever the text we provide as a prompt, the AI prompt can help us classifying the particular text to which category does it belong, whether it belong to technology categories, lifestyle category, education category. So this is an example where we have given the categories as technology, lifestyle, education. We can have our own set of categories added, and whatever the text is, we can check to which particular categories the prompt or the text belongs to, right? Now, sentiment analysis. So, any of the statement which we say, it's generally categorized into one of the three sentiment, whether it is positive, whether it is negative, or it is neutral, right? For example, let's say this car is looking good. So this particular statement is an example of positive sentiment, right? The weather is not great today. So this is another statement of an example where the category of sentiment is negative. Similarly, their other ones are rewriting content. So rewriting content, AI prompt can help you in rewriting the content. It can help you to do the grammar check. It can help you to do the spell checks, correction of grammars, as I mentioned, correction of tenses as well, right? Now, another one is summarizing the information. We can give a good amount of paragraph, a big paragraph to AI prompts and ask it to summarize it in a specific format. Summarizing is one thing. Now we can even go ahead one step ahead and can request a prompt AI to go ahead and summarize it in, let's say, in a bulleted points, right? So it can help us to do that also. We can also go ahead and say that uh, please give me the summarization of it in, let's say, 250 characters or less. It can even go to that extent as well. Now, there is a specific limit that a proper, so whatever the prompt you are giving it for summarization should have minimum number of words. Otherwise, it's already summarized, right? Extraction of the information. We can always request in a prompt that this is my text. I want a specific information to be extracted out of this. Now, this extracted information could be in a way, for example, I have a list, I have a whole lot of paragraph, right? Out of that paragraph, I want the names of people only. So this particular AI prompt example can help us, AI prompt model can help us in getting that particular thing. Now, this is one of the example. It can be used in many of the scenarios which we can think of in different use cases. Drafting a response. Now, this is AI reply. If I can tell you the model name of it, this is AI reply. Whatever the question you get, or whatever the if you are having any conversation, it can help you to build a response to it. Now, as I told you, as I mentioned earlier also, that there are two parts of the prompt, right? Instruction and context. Both are to be emphasized, right? We need to give a proper instruction. We need to give a proper context as well. For example, uh, I'll give you an example where I do not have a context, and when I have a context, how the response would be, right? For example, let me ask, if I ask AI prompt that please give me give me a three-liner description of delegation. Okay, this delegation is itself a normally general used words in any of the offices, where delegation means delegating a task from one person to another person due to their unavailability or due to their busy schedule, right? The reason could be any, but delegation means that the delegating the task from one person to another, correct? It will give you that as a response. But now when I give a context to AI prompt model saying that please let me understand what is delegation with respect to Power Apps, or what is delegation in Power Apps, right? Now it will give you a pinpointed answer or response, because now it has a context that the user wants the information about a delegation, about the delegation topic with respect to Power Apps, right? So this actually helps the user. As much as the context, clear context is provided to AI prompt model, it will give you the expected output or expected result. That is why it is important. AI Builder Hub, this is the documentation. This is not a document. Let's go to the proper AI Builder Hub and see what are different models available. This is the AI prompts documentation. Okay, it opened on top of it. Let me go back and open the AI Builder Hub. So this AI Hub Builder is in Microsoft Power Apps, right? we can always utilize, as I mentioned, any of the AI model which is created using AI prompts can be utilized in Power Apps, Power Automate, and Copilot Studio as well via plugins. How do we go about that? AI Hub is the place where we need to go. If you don't find it here, click on More, click on Discover. You should be able to find it here. Even if you don't find it here, click on Discover All. As soon as you click on Discover All, go till the bottom. There is an AI section created here. This has two parts: AI models and AI prompts. We can click on AI prompts and it will land us in the same page where we will see all the prompts which are there. Now, out of this, there are some prompts which you will see that now I have actually I went ahead and added different AI prompts also, which are provided by Microsoft CAT team. Out of that, the couple of ones which are the the ones which are provided by Microsoft are summarizing the text, extracting the information from text, classify the text, sentiment analysis, and if I scroll to the right, respond to a complaint, which is AI reply. Okay. Now these are templates, right? We can go ahead and use it. These are the ones. So let's say if I want to search for the ones, all prompts. So if you can see the ones highlighted in the blue are the system generated, which are out of the box by default provided by Microsoft. Apart from that, if you will see AI classify, AI summarize, AI sentiment, AI reply, AI extract. So these are the ones which are provided by Microsoft by default. Apart from that, the rest of the ones I have actually imported from Power Cat team provided ones, and then at the last is the one which I have created as a custom prompt. So this custom prompt says that check grammar, spelling, and correct it. Okay, this is the one which I have created. Now let me go ahead and quickly show you one of the prompt how it looks. So what does it do is generate a contextually appropriate response based on the context and tone of the received text. This is the simplest language, general English language, which has been put in here. And based on this is how the large language model understands it, and it will be able to give you the response. Okay, we can always go ahead and test also. Right, as of now there is only one input which is required, and this input will be the text from the user. This is the window from where we can go ahead and modify or create. Okay, now if I want to go ahead and create my own specific one, I can use this particular section here, create text with GPT using a prompt. I'll show you an example of that. So this is one such example which has been created from my side, okay, manually. Now the prompt here is please check and correct grammar and spelling of the input text. So this input text is the one which I have to provide as a user, or any of the user can provide this. Okay, based on that, it will actually go ahead and do the grammar correction and spelling checks. Okay, this was the particular page where I wanted to show from where we can go ahead and create. First of all, how we can utilize the existing ones. Okay, now let's quickly see a little bit more information around AI prompts. There are some do's and don'ts as well, right? Let's go and check those. What is prompt engineering? Prompt engineering is an art of crafting effective prompts to guide the AI behavior. Again, it drills down to the same thing that any user who wants to effectively use the AI behavior or the output from AI prompts has to give the instruction and clear context. Okay. Now, where all we can utilize it? We can utilize in Power Apps using Power FX functions. We will also see how actually we use it. Okay. In Power Automates, we can use AI Builder actions. In Copilot Studio, we can using plugins. Okay. In these plugins, we can even directly call the AI prompts, or we can use the Power Automates to give the result back as a response to Copilot Studio. Eventually, those Power Automates are also called as plugin, part of the plugins in the Copilot Studio event. Now, whenever we talk about AI prompts, GPT prompts was the former name of it. It uses the 3.5 turbo model, okay, of Azure's OpenAI service. Okay. Now, whatever the prompts we write, whatever the results we get, be it on our personal level or on organization level, are not available to any other customers. Okay. Are not even available to OpenAI. OpenAI does not use those prompts responses to improve any of the models from their side. Microsoft even does not use those to change or modify any of their products or services, right? And are not automatically, even automatically also, those are not improving any of it, any of the background resources. Okay, so this is very important thing to understand from the security and privacy perspective. Now, let's go and some of the things which we need to keep in mind while we actually go ahead and build any of the product using AI prompt for our any of the business customers or enterprises, right? It consumes the AI credits. Okay, so AI credit, what is AI credit? AI credits are a common currency which is being used throughout different AI builder products in Microsoft. Okay, now, any of the model which is being used, right? For example, AI reply, AI response, right? AI classify, any of the model, the by default ones, the out of box ones, or the ones which we go ahead and create. It uses resources. It uses Microsoft resources, Azure, OpenAI's resources, right? At the end. So from the monetization perspective, the AI credits are the ones which are actually consumed whenever any of the whenever any of the AI model runs. Okay. How do we, first of all, how do we procure these credits? It's simple. If you go to any of the Microsoft site, there is a AI builder calculator. We check that based on the different uh, based on the different functionalities which we want to leverage, right? If we give it a count that we want to understand, or we want to utilize, let's say 10,000 AI responses in a month, it will give you a certain number of credits which should be allocated to your tenant, right? One such credit limit is $500, and this can give you a lot of space or a lot of AI credits to actually go ahead and start utilizing any of your AI models. This is not only with respect to the AI prompts. There are other models also of the AI which are available in Microsoft, right? For example, document intelligence. That is also one of the one which can be used using the same AI credits. Now, these particular AI prompts which we create are shareable. Let's say if Sunil creates it, it can be shared with Arsh also. The only thing is that Arsh will not be able to go ahead and either edit or delete the AI prompt which has been created by Sunil. They can use it, they can utilize in any of their Power Apps, Power Automate, or Copilot Studio also. It is solution aware. What does this mean? Solution aware means, let's say any of the application which we create, first of all, we always recommend, Microsoft always recommend that any of the application which you create should be in a solution, in a Microsoft solution, in a particular environment, right? Now, automatically, whenever we create any of the prompt, link it with a particular application or a Power Automate or a Copilot Studio. If we resolve the dependencies, automatically the particular power or particular AI prompt will get added to the solution. So that is what it makes solution aware. Now, this particular solution can be moved from one environment to another environment, one tenant to another tenant, be it in any way, whether it is a manual deployment, whether it is Azure DevOps deployment, or whether it is Power Platform pipelines. Azure OpenAI models. Prompts use Azure OpenAI models, as we discussed about that, right? And your data is yours. This is the most emphasized one of the pointer from Microsoft also from the data privacy and security perspective. Couple of do's and don'ts we will talk about, and then we will quickly jump to the utilization of power in Power Apps and Power Automate of these AI prompts. Okay, we have to be specific and clear. As I gave you an example of delegation in the previous couple of minutes, right? Human oversight is always required to understand the response which is coming is fair or not, okay, based on the scenario which is provided to the AI prompt. Give some examples also. Feel free to give some examples, because the AI prompt will have some reference to generate an output based on that. It again comes under the context, right? So feel free to provide that as well. Define output format also. You can always define an output format. As I mentioned in a summarization example, we will see that also in real life how it works, right? If I want to summarize any of the paragraph, I can say that please summarize it in a bulleted points in under 250 characters. It will go ahead and give you the bulleted points out of that. This is the formatting of output. Okay. Test and iterate. This is like, this should, any of the product which we create, we should test and iterate that, right? And the Power Apps also, or AI prompts is also, should also be categorized in that. It has to be tested, because we don't know. See, until we test any of the product, until we test any of the AI prompt model, we would not know how close it is, how close the output is to the expected output, right? So over and over, we have to keep refining the prompt which we are giving it to get the expected and the closest to the expected outcome. Okay, check for the accuracy also. Any AI has a lot of data in the backend. Okay, we have to always think about that there is a sea of data at the backend, and if we want to fetch, let's say, one drop of water from that, we have to give a proper text instruction and a context to it, right? That context and instruction, the combination of instruction and context, will help AI even to go ahead and run whole lot of different LLMs and if and else statements in the backend to fetch you a proper output, right? Transparency should be there, right? Create transparency to your end user experience to inform that results might be AI generated, and hence they have, it might contain the inaccuracies and biasness, right? So human interaction, human oversight is always required. This comes down to the same point as human oversight, right? Adhere to the terms of use. Now, as I mentioned, there is a whole lot of information available to which AI can get you an output, right? But there are some things which anyone should be adhering to, not go ahead and search for, right? Because we see a lot of data in the backend. For example, if I can give you any of the Microsoft Code of Conduct, the non-disclosure agreement terms, right? Those should not be like given as an output, even to be going ahead and searching for those. Incorporating the feedback. So whatever the feedback, like when you give a AI prompt, or when you give any of the prompt to any of the AI prompt model, right? Whatever the, based on the output which you are getting, if you are not getting that output in a expected format, try to tweak it, give a proper feedback. Again, it comes down to the same thing as context. We need to give a proper context, right? So that is there. It's by default there that any of the output which we want, how close to be wanted or to the expected outcome, we have to incorporate the feedbacks. LLM drift. So this is a particular thing where what happens is the data at the backend is growing at a exponential pace, right? Whatever the prompt which works for me today is working because there is a certain data available. Now that data has grown tomorrow. The prompt which I have been still using from last, let's say, from last 6 months, that might give me a lot of different output. Now my output might change, right? So we have to always course correct the prompt as well, the instruction and text combination also over the period of time, so that it always gives the relevant output to me. Couple of don'ts. These don'ts are exactly the opposite of do's. Don't be vague. Always give a proper instruction and context. Request. Let's not request any of the inappropriate or unethical content. Right. Let's not use any of the slang, jargon, informal language. See, there is very. It's a philosophy also, right? What goes around, that comes around. So if we are going ahead and giving the slangs in the prompts, jargons in the prompt, and the informal language, the probability is higher that the output will be in the similar format, or AI will not be able to understand your slang. So as far as it is concerned, feel free to explain it in any manner, to go to the depth to explain what you actually need, but feel free to use the proper and professional language. Give conflicting instructions. So it's again up to us, right? If you want a specific set of information, we are giving a different instruction, we are giving a different context. Even if we are giving the context, we are overcomplicating the context. So eventually the output will not be in the format, or will not be expected what we want. Again, the overcomplication, as I mentioned earlier, right? Assume prior knowledge. This is there is one way to understand this, right? Though there is a lot of information there at the back end for AI to give you a proper expected outcome, but still we should not be assuming that the context which we are thinking about is already understood by the AI. It comes down to the same example as please explain me the delegation, right? So it comes down to, so though there is a lot of information, but again, we need to let AI also drive in a particular path to give us a expected outcome. We have to go ahead and test it. We have to go ahead and tweak the prompts. That's all part of prompt engineering. My mission is not to make you all the prompt engineers. Okay, now let's talk about the availability, right? Generally, which all locations, which all regions the AI prompts is generally available. So there are a lot of regions where it is available. Naming some as Australia, uh, India, and then so you will see two categorizations. One is GA, which is generally available. Then there is a GA star. So what does GA star means? GA star means that those regions, the data movement has to be activated or enabled. What does this mean? Okay, there are specific servers who are running this AI prompts models. Okay, those servers, those features are not available in all the regions, which will be available in couple of years maybe down the line from Microsoft, but not in every region we are getting all the resources. Now if let's say any of the South Korea team members wants to use the AI prompts, if they want to go ahead and use it, they can use it. The only thing is they have to enable the data movement cross region. Now whichever the nearest data center which is running the resources which is running the AI prompts for them, it will run it, it will take the prompt to the different region, the response will come back to. There won't, like, I won't foresee any of the lag in the response output, but the data has moved across different regions. So whenever we are building any of the business enterprise solutions, we always have to go ahead and upfront mention this to the clients, right? If it is generally available in their region, it's not required. It's done and dusted. It is aware. People are aware by default. If it is not, then we have to go ahead and explicitly mention it in our proposals, in our architecture proposals, basically. Okay, so that's a lot of talking done on the AI prompts. Let's see it in action now. Okay, this is how we use it in Power Apps. Okay, it's it's the one of the simplest model I could come up with. How can I explain different AI models in a very simplest way? What I have here is, this is my input text area, this is my result area, and these are my actions or AI prompts which I'm gonna run one by one. And based on the input which I have here, it will run the particular one which I click, and it will give me the result based on that. Very simple, easy to understand. Okay, let's start with this. Okay, I'm going to show everything in action now, and then I will show you how we have built it, what are the different background connections which we have created for these. Okay, let's say I'll go back to the same example. It's lovely weather today, though it's not in Dubai, but let me go ahead with this example to understand the result. So what I've run here is the AI sentiment. Okay. So based on this statement, result could be either positive, negative, neutral. These are the only three options which we have from the sentiment analysis, right? It understands that the text which has been input, right? The result or the sentiment is positive out for that, right? Let's say it's a harsh weather today. Okay, I'm running it again. It is negative. Right? So, did we have to build anything? No. Are we building anything from the AI perspective? No. What have we done in this Power Apps application? I will show you how we connected this also. But in this Power Apps application, we are utilizing the readily built out of box by default provided AI prompts by Microsoft. Okay. Now AI reply, we'll test about this. Right. This actually goes to my current situation. So it's a harsh weather today. What should I do? Right. Let me go ahead and say, let me see, what is it? I'm sorry to hear about. So this is the kind of reply it is giving. Right. I'm sorry to hear that it's a harsh weather. To stay safe, dress warmly and stay home. Right. So this is kind of a reply which I'm getting. Okay. It's a harsh weather today. What should I do? My laptop is it's not working. Okay, I'm trying to extend the same communication or same input text, right? So that we understand that these AI prompts are understanding the whole context or instruction also provided to the input text. Now, at this moment, AI classify, I have given a certain classifications which we have to give, because if we want to categorize any of the input text in proper set of categories, we have to, as a user, we have to provide those categories. In my case, I have provided the categories as hardware, software, and none, right? So now let's see how it works, right? Right now, I can see that my laptop, this is my understanding, right? That laptop is a hardware system. Okay, let's see how it gives me the result out of classification. It's a hardware. How cool is that? Okay, let's see. My Canva is not working. Okay, many of us might not know what Canva is. Let's see if AI understands it or not. And by the way, Canva is a software which helps us to create different designs. Okay. So let me click on AI classify. Wow, it understands. It's a task-based software, right? Now AI extract. Okay. My Canva is not working, and Arish is not helping with me this. Okay. Now this is my statement. Okay. Simplest statement. I have just given a bit of context and instruction to it. Now AI extract. In my extract AI prompt, AI model, I will also show you. Right now, what I have given it instruction is that I want all the names from the input text to be shown to me. Simple. Extract all the names. Okay. Let's see. Okay. It understands. Right. Name, extracted data. It is a JSON, by the way. Right. We can always use a JSON. The it might not be a straightforward result expected outcome, but we can always go ahead and work with this particular JSON to beautify the result. I wanted to show you the actual result, how it's output from the AI extract model. So the value is Arish and type is string. It's cool, right? Now I have to get some context for AI summarization. So let's go back 1 second. Let's say AI prompts. I have to change the language, it's Arabic. How to create an effective prompt. I'm just going ahead and taking any of the big text to summarize it. Okay, I'm just taking this. For example, here, I'll replace everything. This is big enough of text for me now. Okay, I want to summarize it. Okay, so at the end or at the top, I can write it down. Okay, please provide the summarization in bullet points. Bullet points. Okay, this is the whole text. This is the instruction which I have given, and this is the context basically. AI summarize. I'm clicking on that now. We see the clear difference, right? Let's go with the give it a benefit of doubt of the number of characters or number of words itself. Right? It is this. Even I can go ahead bullet points under 100 or 50 words. 50 words. Let's see if it works. It understands. How cool is that? Right? Now, I'll just take this one initial text as an example. Okay. Generate the AI. I'm just trying to mess up some of the spellings here. Okay. And then we will see whether it works or not. Right now, the first one, second one, third one, and the fourth one. Okay. I am using the grammar check, the particular AI prompt which is created from my side. It's a manually created one. Let's see. Okay, so now it understands, and it might have changed something, right, based on its understanding. So AI tool can make us more tools. First one, right? Then productive, and then the third one was develop. You see the spelling was different, and it is different now. So it understands, and it has understood it, and it has changed the spellings as well. Now, how did we do it? Okay, let's talk about that. This was an example of how we create. What is the output, right? How it looks, how it works, and now let's see. So first of all, what we have to do is we have to be in the same environment, same Power Platform environment where we have created the AI prompts. Okay, I have created this one in the same environment. I'm going back to the Power Apps in the same environment. Go to the data. From here, it's very easy. Just search for it. Simple. Give it a quick search. This is the one which I have created. as I'm in the same environment, it showed me all the possible available ones. I clicked on it. It got added to my Power Apps application as a data. If you notice here, these are premium ones, right? What does premium mean? I have another sessions. I have a lot of different talks about what is premium connector, what is standard connector, how the licensing works. Okay, so feel free to check that. Right now, here, this is a premium one, which means that any of the user who wants to utilize these or create, either editor, creator, or user must have the premium license, Power Apps premium license to be specific. Okay. So now let me click on one of my button, which is grammar check. Let's see. How am I using it? Okay. Do not, okay. Do I need to go ahead and increase the, I hope this is visible now. Okay. Do not concentrate on this. This is all the fluff from the designing point. The meat is here. What I'm doing here is where result is one of my local variable. Okay. Local variable is part of this. I'll just go back. Local variable is the actual text which I am inputting here as a result. Okay. So if I click on this back again, this is my input text area. The control name is text input app. Okay. So if I go back to this, where result, I'm setting the local variable. Update context is a local variable. Variable name. I'm running this particular AI prompt. Right. This is my prompt name. Dot predict is one of the function. And what is the input? Input is this text input app, which is my this control, input control, text input control, and dot text is the one which I am giving it as an input as a parameter. Now when it runs, it gives me multiple outputs, right? So the output which I actually need is the text output of it. As soon as I get this text output, I save it in where result, and this is the where result which I'm showcasing here. As simple as that. It is done for all the other AI prompts also in the same way, other buttons also in the same way. AI summarize dot predict, give the input text. I want to showcase you this thing. Okay. This is the thing which I wanted to showcase. AI extract predict what needs to be extracted. This is what I want to get extracted. Name. When I say classify, in classify, if you will see, these are the extra parameters which I have put in as my categories. So this is where from it was picking whether it is software or hardware. So these are the categories. So this is how we can use it in Power Apps. Let's talk about Power Automate a little bit. I'll just go back to my next screen, which is demo using Power Automate. I'm not going to demo it again in the same way how we did it in Power Apps. It works. Please trust me, it works. Now, how did we create it? Okay, we'll go about that. Or let's take about the grammar check. Now, if you see here, where result, same thing, locally updating the local variable, right? Creating a local variable. AI prompts Power Automate dot run. Now, this is the Power Automate which is working. If I click on here, this is the Power Automate which I am using. AI prompts Power Automate. Where is this Power Automate? This is my Power Automate. AI prompts Power Automate. This is Power Apps triggered Power Automate. Okay. Now, from the Power Automate, what I'm getting as an input, one is button clicked so that I can understand whether it is AI reply, AI response, AI summarize. What is that I have to run going ahead? Input text. What is the input text? As simple as that. Okay. Let's start. This is I'm one of the laziest developers. Okay, so what I have done is I have taken the final result as one of the string, and this is the result which I'm gonna push it back to respond back to the Power Apps. Okay, let's talk about the switch function. So there are multiple switch cases which I have built. Okay, first one is case AI sentiment. Okay, I'll just go and show you how it works. When it equals to AI sentiment, okay, what is equal to? It is equal to the button clicked. On button clicked, I am switching it. Okay, when AI sentiment button is clicked, it will run this case. When AI summaries button is clicked, it will run this case. How it will? So this is the action which I have. Okay, create text with GPT. I'll show you here. I'm not going to add it, but I'll show you here. Okay, create text. This is the one. Create text with GPT using a prompt. Let's say I go ahead and click on it. I'm being in the same environment. If you see, if I'm in the same environment, it will give me it should load up all the AI prompts which are available in this environment, right? As said, it is doing so. So I can use any of the ones. It shows a lot of, because there are a lot of prompts available in the. I'll not go ahead and create this, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. So you get the gist, right? So this is the particular action which I have to use. What I am doing in this case is I'm running the AI sentiment prompt, giving the input text which I am getting from the AI from the Power Apps. As soon as this is done, I'm setting a variable. This is the same variable, final result. I am giving the output text. Okay. As soon as the variable is set, as soon as the variable is set, I am responding back this final result variable as an output text to the Power Apps. Simple. And I'm using that in the Power Apps. In the similar way, I'm most interested in AI classify. Okay, I'll show you this. So as soon as I click on AI classify, which is to be used, the prompt input text, then I have to give the input categories here. So these are the input categories, though I can pass it from the Power Apps also. No doubt about that. Okay. So I think this makes sense. And once this Power Apps Power Automate is built, I have added that Power Automate here, and using the same thing. Let's go to AI Classify. In AI Classify, I'm just giving the input text from this input, getting the output text from Power Automate. Okay. I will go back. So we are good with AI prompts demonstration and the understanding of it. I hope this makes sense.
Thank you so much, Sunil. It was a great session. So I learned a lot from your presentation today. So I like your idea that you put your presentation in the Power Platform and created this with the Power Apps, and also the idea of using the AI. So I'm not seeing any comments here or question from our attendees, but I have a question here, and it's actually, can you give us some example or cases of actually in organization where this can be useful actually in the companies? We have so many or several AI builder feature here, AI sentiment, AI extract, something like this. So where actually this can be useful.
I got your point. And I have a couple of good use cases also. I'll take one use case. Let's say I'm using Copilot Studio for the whole organization. Okay, and this Copilot Studio or this particular use case is about letting users create tickets for their issues, for their hardware software issues, right?
Okay.
Now, as soon as they type in the description of the ticket, we can get to know whether it is a hardware related issue, whether it is a software related issue. Based on that, the ticket can be created in the backend, whether using ServiceNow, whether using Freshdesk, whether using Zoho Manage Engine Service Desk Plus, multiple different ticketing tools, because those ticketing tools always need the category of the ticket also.
Yeah.
Right. So this is one such use case. Another use case is, let's say, marketing team has asked or requested users to go ahead and put in their couple of good instances or good examples how they have actually worked with the organization or how organization has helped them,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
I have thousands of input from users now.
Yeah.
HR or marketing team don't want to go ahead, or it is not also a right use of their bandwidth to go ahead and check each of it from the spelling check and from the grammar check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? We can run it through this AI model and have the proper grammar check done, spelling checks done.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
doesn't change the intent. It
Yeah.
doesn't change the intent of the whole text what they have provided, but it bumps up. It creates a better version of it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Right? So these are such two use cases.
Mm-hmm.
There are a whole lot of different use cases
Yeah.
from the AI response perspective, from AI extract perspective as well. I gave an example of names extraction. We can extract cities, we can extract countries, we can extract
Mm-hmm.
capital states, right? We can
Yeah.
extract values like invoice numbers, like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
there are like whole different. There are a lot of use cases I can think
Right.
of right now.
Right, that's correct. So actually, I have some experience with the Microsoft Syntax AI. So
Mm,
I saw some of this feature, the AI builder, actually the
yeah,
AI extractor, something like that in the Microsoft
it
Syntax.
is.
So yeah, this I think this
Yeah.
capabilities
AI
also is
document automation.
available, yeah, in the different environment, but with the same, structure and the same functionality. And another
Correct.
concern was actually I think is about the licensing. So I added
Yes.
a link here. I found this link from the Microsoft site that someone
Yes. AI
teaches.
builder calculator.
Yes, you can check the AI builder. There is AI builder calculator there, so you
Correct.
can calculate, based on the page, the words, the amount of, the content that you need the AI builder process during I think the Azure AI also is working the backend, right? To in the
It works. So everything is Azure OpenAI services
Yeah,
only.
it's Azure AI Open AI services,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
It everything drills back then to that only, but it is the easiest way for us to access it rather than going full fledged pro code and create whole lot of stuff in the Azure using Azure resources. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the easiest version where we can go ahead and use it using. We just have to pay for AI credits.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, to join us today to this great session. So, let me show you our upcoming session for the next week. Next Saturday, we will have Scott Roller, and the topic is around the model-driven Power Apps, and actually how we can why we need to use the model driven app, because as you know that currently we are working most of the app makers working with the Canvas app. So the
Yeah.
model driven app also has great and a lot of feature, and how we can when and why we can use the model driven app and the comparison with the Canvas app. So it will be great session next week. So next week, June 15th, see you all again. And yeah, that's all. And have a great day. Thank you, Sunil, to join us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on this podium, Harsh, and we'll connect again soon. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Have a
yeah,
great rest of your weekend.
for sure, for sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.